Okay, so today we're looking at addition and subtraction using whole numbers and decimals with the base 10 blocks. So we're going to start with addition. Our base 10 blocks are still representing the same numbers, so we have our flat representing 100, our long representing 10, and our unit representing ones. And with our fractions, our long is the representation of 1/10 of a whole number, and our unit is representation of 1/100th of a whole unit, of a whole number. Okay, so we're going to look at the numbers 134 and 147 for addition. So we're going to start with our ones unit, which is going to be 4 of our units plus 7 of our units. Okay, and then we're going to look at our tens place, which is going to be a 4, so we're going to use 4 longs to represent our tens place, and then 3 longs to represent tens place on the bottom. Then we're going to look at the hundreds place, which is going to be our flats, so we're going to have 100 plus 100. And to solve for this problem, to find our sum, we're going to look at the units, the longs, and the flats and combine like terms. So we're going to put our units together, we're going to put our longs together, and we're going to put our flats together, and we're going to add those up. So we know that we have 200 because we have 2 flats, which are each representation of 100. And then we have 4, 5, 6, 7 longs, which is going to represent 70 in our tens place. And then we're going to look at our ones unit, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 11, but because we have 11 here, we can actually regroup 10 of our units into a long. So we're going to take our long, which is a representation of 10 units. We're going to take these away. We're going to add our long. So that's going to leave us with 281. So that's our answer for our whole number addition. It's going to be 281. Now when we're dealing with decimals, we're going to look at the flats as whole numbers. So in order to do this, I'm going to take this one right here. We have 1.43 plus 2.18. Okay, so in order to find the sum of our decimals, we're going to regroup our flats together, which is going to give us 3 whole numbers. We're going to regroup our 10th units, which is going to be our longs, so that's going to give us 5/10. And then we're going to regroup our hundredths unit, which is going to give us 11 ones. Okay? But again, because we have 11 here, we're going to regroup these into a long. Okay, we're going to trade these out, and that leaves us with 3.61. So that's our decimal. We've got 3.61. Okay, so that's addition with whole numbers and decimals using base 10 blocks. Now we're going to transition into subtraction. With subtraction, we're looking at the same base 10 values. So we're going to take 2 flats, which equal our 200, minus 100, 1 flat. Okay, and then we're going to look at the tens, which is going to be our 4 longs minus 2 of our longs, which are both representation of our 10 place value. Then we're going to look at 7 ones, or 7 units, and 4 ones, or 4 units here. So we're subtracting 247 minus 124. So we've got our base 10 blocks here, and what we're going to do in order to decompose here is we're going to take the bottom number and subtract it from the top. So if I take the 4 units and I put them on top of the 4 units on top, I can take these numbers away because they are the same number. So I'm taking 4 away from this number. So I'm going to put those on top and remove those from the group. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the tens place, or the longs, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to place them on top to represent taking away or decomposing 20 from the tens unit. So we're going to take those away. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our 100 or our flat, and we're going to decompose from the hundreds unit. And that leaves us with 123 for whole number subtraction. Now for decimals, we're going to do the same concept, but our flats are going to be representation of whole numbers. So we have 1.27. So we're going to add 7 to this. Okay, and then we have 1.14. We're going to do the same concept that we did with the whole numbers. So we're going to take our hundredths value, and we're going to place it on top so that we know that we're subtracting 4 from the larger number. Then we're going to take our tenths value, and we're going to place it on top so we know that we're subtracting 1/10 from our 2/10. We're going to remove that. And then we're subtracting our whole number from our whole numbers, so it's going to remove the whole number altogether. So that leaves us with 0.13, or 0.13 hundredths. And that's how you use base 10 blocks to demonstrate addition and subtraction using whole numbers and decimals.